Would you just mean like a verbal call out to the community, like anyone could have this house for $1 if you move it? Is that what you're looking for? Or?
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Open to ideas.
Yeah, and I understand the sentiment. I'm not necessarily.
Put a contingency on there. All right. Well, throwing it out there for you, and I think just another nugget, if somehow you do end up demolishing the homes, putting it out there that we do have a wonderful architectural salvage company in town. Maybe there's something that they would want, or other people restoring historic homes before you just go in with a wrecking ball. Maybe open it up to the community. I think that could be a fantastic partnership as well.
Appreciate that. And then Dana, per your note about wanting to see the drawings, we do have, you know, I mean, obviously it's saying yes to tear something down without not knowing what's coming in is difficult, but we also have say in making sure that what is coming in is doing what we hope it's doing. So I was just going to say that comment as well.
And verbally, you did give a little more indication of what you were going to plan for.
All right.
Before the vote, I guess, is there any public comments on agenda today?
Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah.
Yep. If you would allow the two gentlemen to come up and speak.
Would you mind introducing yourself?
Nelson Nave, live at 610 West South Street, and I own in a building in district at 100 North Edward Street. I was on the commission for years, a while ago, and I'm very worried in general about the historic district being chipped away by the Economic Development Department, especially on the edges near downtown. They have no other places to expand. So this is chipping away at this area right here. The other is a couple of blocks north of here off of Burdick near the Blue Dolphin. That things have been chipped away there. There's a horrible project been built on Rose Street, the senior housing. It looks like an albatross on that site. Anyway, the two houses I'm worried about are the two on the corner that have been there forever, and they were always landmarks in that area when you drive around and walk around and so on. There's no reason why those two buildings couldn't be restored into beautiful apartments. They've always been apartments. And still fit into that development. It's the same price or less to do remodeling or restoration, and then you've got two historic buildings that that have been improved. The rest seem to be a block that relate where you take out the commercial building with the parking lot next to it and the liquor store on the corner and so on. There isn't much left in between. There's land behind there or south of there that could become development later. I don't know whether that church still owns that property or not. No?
No, I don't think so.
Anyway. So I would just worry about the historic district in general, having, as you all talked about earlier, depressing in size.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And again, if you could just state your name.
I'm Mike Fleckenstein. I am a business owner in the Southtown area since 1984. I am here to say that I'm not strictly against this project, but I do see some good and bad points. And I have some fairly intimate knowledge of these properties back 10 years ago when I sat down with Fred Jones and talked to him about them. Unfortunately, he'd already sold them. Before he sold them, they were in good condition. They've gone downhill because nobody gives a damn about them, as is often the case. And it happens that and some of you may know, that I own the block of Burdick Street across the street, 712 to 728, that beautiful brick building on the corner somebody referenced. And these properties have been a thorn in my side since we bought that project. And nobody's happier to see the C-store go than me. I mean, I've owned 4 of them. I know how they're run. So I'm happy to see this one go. I mean, I'm done picking up bottles and cans and all kinds of crap on my property, okay? So from that standpoint, and I will point out, and probably some of you share the same feeling, that how can these go this long in these conditions? I wouldn't be able to get away with it, nor would I want to, but it's irritating to know that this can go on and on and on. That's probably another topic. Long and short of it is, I guess, is I see 2 sides to this. I see us benefiting as a neighborhood to some degree to see something happen with these properties, whether they get moved, torn down, a new project goes in. And I don't think we can be hurt by that specifically, at least from the standpoint of my perspective on it. But this isn't my first rodeo. We rehabbed a property at 131 Cedar, spent well over $500,000, and as soon as 400 rows got built, sucked all our tenants over there. Thank God we were able to default to short-term housing, because I'm not sure we'd have tenants today. I worry about that for our buildings on Burdick. And this phenomenon is nothing new. When all the properties got built way out west of campus, all the tenants moved out of the local neighborhoods out to there, and there was a lot of vacancy. So it's not a new phenomenon, and I expect the same thing to be true of any new development here. And I have at least 2 tenants I know of who would exit if that were built, and they've been there 5, 6 years. So it's to be expected, because that's what happens, that's the phenomenon. I'm willing to work with and talk with these gentlemen about the project and how we can maybe collaborate together. And by the way, I'd love to get all your storm windows, because I could use them. So I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater here. I want to see the door open to something happening there that will further improve everything for everybody. And those are my comments. I hope you'll take them into consideration.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for stepping up.
I didn't see anyone else out there, but if anyone else is from the public and has any comments, let me know, and you're more than welcome to come up now. So.
All right.
Turn it back over to you all.
Coming
I
back.
apologize for the-
Okay, any final questions or comments?
I have a final question, just for radical clarity. These may have been the 2 buildings Mr. Nave was speaking about, so I just want to wrap my head around it. The 2 properties at the corner of Vine and Rose, those are not being requested to be demolished, correct? Those will stay. They're not numbered on your chart.
No, that's not a private project.
Okay. Okay, they will stay. Okay, thank you.
All right.
I feel like I've been uncharacteristically quiet with this one because I'm so torn, and I've been just trying to listen to the other commissioners' thoughts and listen to the presentations. And I really appreciated both of the gentlemen that came up and spoke. I feel like, especially you, sir, that really articulated kind of the torn feeling that I have, where I see the benefit of development, not only for Bronson, but for the neighborhood as a whole, but also wanting to preserve the history of it, of this block, and the homes that are there. And, you know, our job is kind of to be the last people looking out for homes like that. And so it's tough for me. I think probably going to go right down to the end here on what I decide, but I just wanted that on the record. I appreciate both sides of it, for sure.
Thanks.
Commissioners, we're wondering if we can, of course, this is kind of conditional anyway on you guys seeing the final version here coming up soon, but we would wonder if we can get a conditional approval today and then come back with a more formalized packet of documents and drawings that would get everybody more comfortable with the project, while also allowing us to continue to move forward so we can take the internal cities process forward as well.
And I respect what Nelson had to share. I spent 6 years on HDC also, so I followed Nelson. So he and I have good conversations about a lot of these things, and it's really difficult. And I know that was one of the things that we used as a tool in the past, which was to say, we don't want these to come down without having something else that goes in their place, because that's just a loss, right? So Commissioner Underwood, I appreciate where you're coming from too. Like, you want to see what comes next, and maybe that gives you a little bit of comfort knowing that you can see something more from us, but in any scenario, you're not approving them to come down without having that next round of reviews. So Luis, I hope I'm not trying to put a motion there that isn't a motion that you typically would carry, but I'm just offering up, I think we're trying to be a good partner in all of this and trying to find a way that gives you comfort, and we want you to feel comfortable and trust us in what we want to do. So if we need to share that to you again, I'm happy to say we would do that.
Absolutely.
What would the wording on a motion like that look like?
To me, it's going to come out, I guess, the same in any scenario, right? So if you guys denied it, then it doesn't move forward. If you postponed it and had them come back, nothing still would have happened, and they would come back with more information. I think the reason that we looked at it this way anyways is because to give you guys the time to continue to collect all this stuff, to bring it forward at the end of the day. I don't think that we've generally given out conditional approvals in any capacity, and I'm not sure I guess what it would look like at the end of the day, but it's completely your guys' prerogative as the commission of what you would like to see for that. I think, again, and at the risk of sounding like a broken record, right? And Casey, will you go down one page, I think? Could be up to, so there we go. This is what was provided to us because I didn't think that it was, again, this is just me, and obviously it's your guys' prerogative to vote at the end of the day. There have been times when things have come to this commission and then they've gone to different commissions later and they've been asked to change things and then they've had to come back to us. And I was not, it always makes me not the happiest, I guess, to have to see that the applicant come back sometimes because they have to change things for the way that our standards and guidelines are written, and I wanted to avoid that for the applicant at the end of the day. So I leave it up to you guys to make the decision regarding whether you want to make it a conditional approval, or postponement, denial, whatever you guys want to do. I would leave it up to you all.
Well, and let's also be clear that they're literally following Luis's suggestions on how to present to us. I mean, they had plans. Luis said, let's do it this way. They're moving forward with that. So I don't think that they should be, denied specifically because they didn't bring the information because, they were taking direction.
I guess I would still be curious to see the neighborhood survey results. For me, that might carry a little bit
I
of,
just want to be very careful.
Okay.
Your vote is not going to be contingent upon the neighborhood. Or it cannot be for this commission. We can only evaluate it on the notice to proceed criteria. As a citizen of Vine,
No,
you can
that is-
certainly
that is
voice your
fair.
opinion.
Correct,
At the forum, but
like,
not here.
But we have a standard that says it's overwhelming in the interest of the public to keep it or not keep it, correct, with the neighborhood survey not potentially weigh in on that?
Yes, I suppose I think that it could. I also think that the Vine Neighborhood Plan is a document that was not put together without the input of the community as well.
Okay, but we don't have the Vine neighborhood plan.
So it is online for people to look at and stuff. It's,
Yes, but it's not part of the application.
no, and I did make citations in there as well from the pages that made the alignment. And I agree. I think, yes, it was not put in there and it was not then right in front of you. And do understand that wholeheartedly. It seems like the language that was put into the application was lifted directly from it, though.
Could we pull it up online and look at it?
So I did, the two things that I cited for them was, there's tables that, I cannot remember the language that Katie used when she put them together, but there was language about the promotion of increasing housing options through mixed-use development in the neighborhood. And I can give you a second to pull it up if you want, and then you can look at it. And then the other area that was seemingly pulled right from the plan was on page 27, when it said that they want the promotion of walkable mixed-use developments along key corridors, and it specifically calls out Westnedge and Burdick.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with you, Christy, that, going to the meetings would be the way, but I just want to be very sure that when we're voting, we're using the criteria here.
Yes, totally fair. Thank you.
And unofficial polling, again, being across the street, everyone was super excited for blighted houses to be removed and something nice to be put up because, for whatever the last 10 years of my stay there, it was in a limbo and it just wasn't great. So I think if you talk to Vine residents, they would be much prefer a new development that we have say in, that the community has say in, than just leaving it, hoping that someone fixes
Yeah,
it.
I agree. I live in Vine, for full transparency. I'm about a half mile from here. And every Saturday, I drive my kid to martial arts practice, and we drive by the convenience store. And I just cringe if I get stuck at the light thinking, please don't ask me about explaining that graffiti on the fence to you, because I don't want to do it. So I understand. It's that corner is problematic. Absolutely. Agree.
Okay, one more question before we go to the thing, just because we flipped to the page here and it got me thinking, do you have plans for more development in these lots that have been cleared in the future?
This is a planned multi-phase development here that we are planning for, but this is phase one. And so I want to make sure that we stay focused on phase one, but we will be doing more here. We think, they think this area needs investment, right? I mean, we've have some things on the north side which needs investment. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look at the areas that need investment and then put what the community needs: affordable housing, childcare, and other neighborhood-based amenities, or we'll attract some things from other places. But we're going to do what the community asks. I mean, that's kind of where Bogan Developments and Forward Ventures is always going to live at. What does the community need? We'll make the investment and we'll do it. So that's why we're here. We're going to do what the community wants.
All right.
We're going to hold you to that.
All right.
I have one more question.
Okay.
No, I'm just looking at your plan. You've marked out a little bit of green space and identified it as playground preschool. Will that be private for the preschool only, or will that be community playground?
So we have not finished out our drawings. We do have, we do see a desire and need to create those kind of spaces. But we'll come back in a few months or weeks and talk through that once we get there. But I don't want to spoil the great surprise we have for you.
All right. Does anyone want to put out a motion?
I'll go. I move to approve a notice to proceed for the work as described in the application as it pertains to criteria 2 and 4 from the Secretary of State. No. Sorry.
So you can just say that, make a motion to approve the work as written, as it complies with the notice to proceed criteria 2 and 4 from the ordinance would be fine.
Got it. Do I need to actually say that now, or is it on the record?
You can just say, so moved if you'd wish.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Seconded.
All right, Casey, could I get a roll call vote, please?
Katie?
Yes.
Christy?
Yes.
Dana?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys have the approval to demolish the properties. I'm sure that we will be in touch in the future, and you will be back in front of this board again for the construction of the new buildings, but I can reach out to you tomorrow if you want to talk about kind of what the next steps are going to be.
Thank you. Commissioner, thank you so much. We don't take this lightly. Once again, we just want to be great community partners And so we'll be here to ask, Dan and I are neighbors in the north side, right adjacent to his business, and, you know, we care about community, building it, and making sure that, of course, we invest according to what our people here in the city of Kalamazoo want. So thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right. Do you have a coordinator's report?
Yeah, I do. I feel like should have kind of zhuzhed it up a little bit. I need to reconnect to the internet. I'll just kind of open it up by saying MHPN is coming up, Michigan Historic Preservation Network Conference. I guess the conference is coming up, not the network. It's in Sault Ste. Marie. I know that that's really far away. Dana asked me if there's some options for virtual stuff. I'm going to figure that out and let you guys know. I think the conference is a wonderful, and to be honest with you, if you guys could, if you guys want any of them, just let me know, like any presentations. I'm sure that people would be more than happy just to give them to me afterwards too, if you guys want to look through slides, and I'm more than happy to talk about stuff with you. In the past, I don't recall them ever being like live streamed things, so it probably won't be. I think the last time that happened was during COVID, but it's a great opportunity. That's why I was so happy when it was here in the city. These far away ones make it hard for all my commissioners because you guys all have gigs, right? So it's hard to be able to get away from your gig to be able to go up there. So I completely appreciate that, but just wanted to float it out to you. I can't remember if I already sent out an email that, okay, was there a deadline in that email? I can't remember that now about it. Okay, so I'm going to go back through those now because I'm looking at both commissions. So if you guys did want to go, and I can't remember if there's anyone here that was able to go.
I want to, I just can't.
Okay, so go through the brochures then. Tell me if there's sessions that you're interested in, and I can work to get PowerPoints. I know a lot of the people that are going to be talking anyways. So that was my filler and me vamping to get to my review here. 3 administrative reviews since I've seen you guys last. It hasn't been terribly busy. I think we're kind of in the transitioning phase from winter into the busier months. It seems like this month is a little bit busier. Just a roof, a sign reface, and a porch repair are all that happened in the previous month. Does anyone have any questions about any of those? Okay.
No?
I know.
Can I ask a quick question about 807 West Vine?
Yes.
And that was postponed?
That is just withdrawn, so they're going to have to make a new application.
Got it, thank you.
Yep.
All right, well,
I guess I just want to say one more thing too. So, and I think I might have been just kind of talking to Dan before when we were looking at the agenda. The things that were submitted on 807's part for this meeting do not reflect at all their intentions moving forward. It was just that they were postponing trying to get a new application together. Some stuff came up, I think, in the applicant's life, and they never gave me anything. So I had to present it as it was given to me, and they reached out to me today saying they wanted to withdraw, so that's why it still showed up that way.
Okay, that's good news.
Previous discussions with the homeowner did not reflect the request that's in the application.
Okay,
So we are in a different mode now, and
Right.
whenever they're ready, they'll come back to it.
Okay, perfect.
all right. Well, thanks. I guess that's the end of the meeting.
It's anticlimactic.
Yeah, it really was. That really took something out of me. All right, the time is 6:06, meeting adjourned.